Hello everybody and welcome back to RP-1. As you may have noticed from the title, we are just going to focus today on 3 high-speed flights, and we're just going to jump onto it, waste no time. In the last episode, we proved that our F-104 recreation, or, inspired plane was able to manage high-speed flight. However, during the time when we were doing our mission, we didn't click and start the science experiments. So today we are going to spend some time and gather that high-speed flight. And this time we're going to do better with landing, and or we're going to try to do better with landing anyways. And I realize there's not really much I need to say during this. It's a lot of the same stuff that we've been doing so far. Air launch over the ocean to the KSC, doing our science, using atmospheric autopilot to keep ourselves level and at a certain speed. So I think I'm going to take a back seat on the vocals today, and we're just going to hang out, enjoy the flight, enjoy the music, and I'll pop in sporadically where I feel like some narration is needed. But for the most part, I don't know that I need to waste your time telling you all the stuff that you can easily see on screen. So now, feel free to unbuckle your seat and walk around the cabin. Flight attendants will be around soon enough to take orders for drinks and concessions, and we'll be arriving at our destination soon enough. Sit back and enjoy the flight. And with no parachutes on our craft, we're going to have to stop this the old-fashioned way. We turn off our engine, throw on our brakes, and hope and pray that we don't tip over before coming to a halt. There we go. Stuart Kelly is once again safe and sound and ready to turn in his crew report. So with that, he only gets a couple extra days added onto his career. Nothing impressive, just a standard, typical flight. We landed successfully, so the contract that wasn't completed in the last episode is now taken care of. And we have quite a bit of extra science to boot. So we got 7.7. We are going to edit the Starship that we have in production and add some parachutes onto that one. We'll also add parachutes onto the one that we just recovered, because while stopping was doable, it wasn't easy. So we got 7.7 science to look at. We can unlock a few different things, but ultimately we're going to go into avionics right now, because in the last episode when we had our not the last episode, but the previous one, when we had our heavy satellite enter deep space, we lost communication with it, which means that we're now capable of getting satellites into deep space, so having deep space core will behoove us. Anyways, now we got Heide Weber in the cockpit. We are going to air launch her yet again, but a little bit farther this time. And once again, I'm going to take backseat to the video, but the plan here is we are actually going to fly past the KSC and turn around. We're going to try to get as much science as we can and just let it go for as long as we can, and then we'll turn around and come back. I want to thank the helpful commenter who let me know that in the last episode the reason why our wings broke off was because I was making pretty heavy maneuvers at over Mach 1 speed, and so that was a bit of a piloting error. So we're going to try to not have that happen again this time as we make our way back around. Anyways, we get our science up, we get our time warp going. Once we hit 690 some odd meters per second, we will put on the speed lock, and I'll see you when we land. Well, as they say in the Air Force, any landing you can walk away from is a good one. So we will take that, we'll repair this craft when we bring it in, and Heide Weber gets to thank her lucky stars that she was not a casualty today. But, you know, that's why having the parachutes on the plane really helped out. It was a smart choice. So now we are getting ready for our third and final flight today. We are going to have Stuart Kelly fly. This time we're going to backtrack another 200 kilometers so he can fly for longer. And this time we're not going to do the turnaround method. We're just going to land when we can. But, yeah. It's been fun. I had a lot of fun with these flights and doing these landings, being a little bit better. The last one was, you know, left a little bit to be desired, but we've got one more attempt to make ourselves just be a little bit better, because soon it's going to make a lot more of a difference that we can fly well. But anyways, we're going to turn on our science and just do the whole flight yet again. Stuart Kelly has some pretty good confidence about his landing ability, so we'll see that. I decided after two semi-successful landings, we would attempt a third one in IVA mode. Forgetting that we don't have Warbird's cockpit, we're going to just go with the RPM. Not my favorite. I feel like there could be better usages of our screens, but I just open up one just to give myself a little bit of information on one screen at least. But we've got kind of everything we need in that little green translucent screen in front of us. Yeah, we're gonna attempt our landing in first person mode. And we're starting to get a little bit of wobble. I'm having to fight using the Q and E keys to balance out, but thankfully our parachutes and our brakes stop us in time before we wobble out of control. I wasn't able to see where the wings were on the actual F-104 in real life, so I just kind of put them where I could, but these could probably go out a little bit wider because that was, they were too narrow, and I think that's what our little speed wobble came from. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get this craft back into our hangar and get Stuart Kelly back into regular clothes and he can tell us all about it. Once again, only a couple days added onto his career, but you know, that's just that's how it goes with non-record breaking flights. You know, if he's not doing something super interesting, why would he want to stick around as long? But nonetheless, we have 11 points of science. There's a lot to consider to go into, but we are going to be taking the 1958 solid rocket engines for the Castor ones, and particularly because we want the next upgrade in SRBs, and we need to get started on this now before we get it. But we'll see where we want to go in the next episode. So now that we have finished today's episode, we come here into the administration building and see that we're only 2 days before our deadline on the Heavy Satellites program. So let's go ahead and complete that. I think that was pretty great. I'm glad that we didn't go over the time. But we have a lot to look at now. We've got 4 programs that we could go into: early Earth observation satellites. Communication satellites might be a good one because that'll help us build a network around our Earth. Ultimately, I think I might want to go to lunar probes. I really want to see the moon. And crewed orbit is possible we have, you know, 2 pilots, and it will pay us a lot more money than the lunar one, but I'm not sure what to do. And a big thank you to the other helpful commenter who let me know that I had let these contracts lapse and I no longer have leaders. But we're going to wait until the next episode to pick them because I want to utilize them as best as possible, and I'm not sure exactly where we're going to go. I do know that I am going to work on recreating the X-15 plane because that is what got them past the Kármán line, and that is a contract that we're struggling on right now. But we also may start pursuing that extra satellites program or crewed landing programs. We'll see what we got. If you have any suggestions, if you'd like to see a particular one, let me know in the comments below, and I'll give it a thought. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward for more RP1. If you did think about subscribing, drop me a like, let me know your thoughts, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take care.